Hi, this is Vicki Romaine with Cheerful Greetings, and today we're going to be working with napkins. And you can find all sorts of pretty napkins in department stores or your big box stores, and even in your departments where there's clearance. If there's anything in the paper products that are on clearance, especially for the different seasons, you can find your napkins very cheap, and they make a wonderful card. I may be putting mine on the card a little different from what you're used to, but this should be a very quick method. I have a napkin here that is definitely fall. It has your trees, and that's the one I'm going to be working with first. Now I'll be doing something with these cards that's a little different after I put the napkin on, so don't go away after I show you how to put the napkin onto the cardstock. Okay, most of your napkins have a liner, and by the way, this is about a fourth of the size of a napkin. I just cut one panel off, and your napkin will have usually a white cover underneath, and you want to remove all of the liners. And most of them will have two, and I'm not sure how many this one has, but I'll be able to tell you when I've hit the last one. Okay, we have the liner on the back here, and I'm going to take a piece of Scotch tape. This is just single-sided Scotch tape, and I'm going to attach it to a corner here, and it should come directly off. Okay, I didn't want to tear the back too terribly much because I'll be using it later for another project. Now, if this was a brand new napkin, my liner would be all connected and it would be 4 times the size of this. But since this is a fourth of a napkin, we're going to have 2 pieces of liner here. That's the size of the piece of napkin. Now you can tell when you reach the outer layer because it's very, very thin, and usually it has some rough texture. Not always, but I find that most of the time it has rough texture. Now this is the piece of cardstock I'm going to put it on, and this is 4 by 5 1/4. So this will have a mat behind it when I get through. The first thing I want to do is put, oh, by the way, I've got a piece of silicone here, and that's my key tip of the day. Have a piece of silicone. First thing I'm going to do is have the cardstock. Next, I'm going to pull off a piece of saran wrap. I don't want it too big, but I want it a little larger than the piece of cardstock. Let me get a pair of scissors and I'll cut this excess off. Okay, so we have our cardstock first. Our saran wrap goes on next, and you want to kind of straighten it out as much as possible on top of your cardstock. Want it to be nice and smooth, if at all possible. There we go. Then after that, we're going to put a napkin. Now, this is not quite big enough for two, so I need to decide what part of the napkin I like. I like this section. I like this section over here because it's got different colors, but I want to play up fall with this card that I'm making. So I'm going to use this side, and I'm going to kind of feel my way down here and kind of have the bottom down here at the border at all possible. Number one, I don't want the border on it, and yet I want the top of the trees. So I just kind of feel underneath what I have. And just checking out here, making sure my saran wrap hasn't really moved. And with the trees, you want them fairly straight on the cardstock. Now, to protect my iron, I'm going to use a piece of parchment paper. Now, I have to watch up here and watch down here. Or what I can do is cut my parchment paper in half. I'm going to make this piece go this way. And this piece this way. As long as I stay on the parchment paper, I'll be good. At least the iron will be. Now, I will show you a couple things about my iron. Now, if you have an iron like this, and you don't iron clothes anymore, well, don't give it away or throw it away. You can use it in your card making. Now, this particular iron has holes in the bottom to let the steam out. Now, this does not have water in it because I do not want steam on this. This one would not work well with the steam. So what I'm doing now is letting it heat up a little bit, and we'll just do it slowly and see how our project turns out. My top piece of parchment paper wants to move. I'm going to kind of work with it slowly. It's beginning to warm up, and I can tell. Main thing I want to do is make sure that my iron does not touch the saran wrap. I'm going to switch hands here. And go on the other side. Now, I think I have gone over most of it, but I want to make sure. So I'm going to get rid of this piece of parchment paper, and I'm just going to press this in. And if you look closely, you will see that the card, or excuse me, the napkin that I'm putting on my card can be seen through the parchment paper. You will have to excuse the background noise, as I have been lately doing my tutorials at different campgrounds as we go camping, and I'm not sure what they're doing right now, but I think they're having some games going on, so I'll have to excuse the noise, background noise. Now, okay, I have let my ironing and of the saran wrap As I said, I'm just saying saran wrap, but it's a plastic wrap by another brand. I think this was great value, but it's all the same stuff. The key is you want to let it sit and cool before you take it up. And so watch what happens when I take it up. Look at all that plastic on the outside of my project. It comes up automatically. Excuse the coffee. Nothing's left on my mat at all. Again, it looks like we're having fun over on the other side of the campground. Now what I'm going to do is take my scissors that I have here, and it should be all stuck because I'm going to hold it up like this. Everything is stuck. The main thing is let it cool before you mess with it. Now let's see if what I need to do here is just trim it. This is easy enough to trim off. The plastic is basically solid now. It's not moving around because it's stuck to the card, and it's has melted, so it has some body, and it's all cut. You cut that all off. Now let's see what we have left. Oops, wrong direction. We have trees, and now I'm going to put this on either a gold card or an orange card. I may even put it on a green one, but we'll have to see. So I'm going to show you basically what it would look like on a white card. Here's my white card. And that's the way it will look. I may decide to leave it like that and maybe distress the white, but I think I'm going to put it on a colored card stock. So let me do that, and then I'll be back. Okay, I have some cardstock here. The green isn't too bad. It kind of mixed colors. There's no little green in it. And the yellow is kind of conflicting with the orange. And this is orange like what's in the napkin, but it doesn't, I don't like it. So let me see if I see anything else. I could try a light green. You can let that work. But I feel like it's overdone. So I think we'll go back with the white. And we'll just put that back. Now, glue this straight on the card. And this will probably be a fall sick card. So after I've glued it, and when we look at all the cards together, this one will be glued down. But right now I want to do another one. Now here's this one. Got the whole napkin here. You open it up, and you have 3 panels. So that's real cute. But this looks more like me, so I'm going to do this one. And if you notice, this has a little design on the side. And that should show up on my card too. So let's just cut this piece off. Right down where it's folded. Okay. Again, we have a back layer on this, I believe. Let me get a piece of tape and see if it pulls off. This one's kind of coming off in pieces. Which is fine. And this feels like that's the only layer that's on there. Okay, let's see, I've got another piece of cardstock here. Let's see if this is it. That's my card. Now let's see what we have here. That would be pretty. And this particular one, the piece could go either direction. It also could come at the top, but I don't care to have the border on there. So let's just switch this around to this direction. Okay. Again, we're going to start with the cardstock. Next, we've got our plastic wrap. I'm going to put this on like here. I'm trying very hard not to burn myself with this iron. See, the nice thing about using the silicone, once you've stretched the plastic out, so if you take your fingers like that and pull it over, it stays stretched out. Like that. Now, I'm going to put a picture on here. Okay, I have changed my mind again, and let me explain why. If I put it on here like this is kind of cream color and this is white, and it's going to show, and I just don't like that. So I'm going to turn my napkin sideways since I've got my card sideways, and it shouldn't affect anything at all. Now let's see if this will work. Put it on here about where we want it. I could make it closer to the top, have this at the bottom, but I think I'm just going to leave it and have it plain with only the one image. Okay, let's move this out of the way, pull out my parchment paper, and I've kept my iron on, so it should be plenty hot. Let me turn it around this way. And I'm going to use both pieces again till I get it started. Now, if you can see down where you can see up here, and right over here, the plastic wrap is stuck to my mat. But when I get it up, it's going to just come on up in one sheet. Nice thing about the mats is it protects your table on one side. And by the way, these mats are the kind of mats that you put in the microwave and cook on. But don't do it with the ones you've done your crafting. Now, when I got these, there were three mats, and you can get them different sets, different combinations. But I got two large ones and one small one. The small one to be in the microwave. Okay, and one of these will be at home, and one of these will be in my motorhome. So let's see how we're doing. I take this piece, see how nice it comes up. So we'll take the scissors and just cut down the sides. Cut the extra off. Okay, look at this and see if you see something wrong. I do. And I will tell you how I'm going to fix it. This is right on the edge, and this is not. So to counterbalance it, I'm going to find a butterfly. Yeah, probably a butterfly. I'll put it right there on the edge, and it will be balanced. My napkin slipped just a little bit, and I didn't notice it. But when things like that happen, you can always fix it. I mean, if it had slidden way over, it might be difficult, but it could have been fixed. Okay, let's get us a piece of cardstock and see if I want to change cards. Having trouble getting it up. Okay, here's my light green. Here's my dark green. The yellow? No, that's terrible. And the orange? That's not too bad, but it's still bad. These are kind of pale colors here. So I think I'm going to put it on the pale green, just to be different. So we'll fix that, and I'll be back in a moment. Okay, let's look at the cards that I made using the napkins. This is the first one you saw me make. And I just put a simple enjoy down here at the bottom because I wanted my scenery to show. I don't want to cover that up. That's the prettiest part of it. I'll kind of pull this up so maybe you can see it a little better. Okay, my next one that I did, remember I said I came a little too close to this edge and I felt like it was out of balance. Well, I just put a butterfly over here, and to me that helps it out. And then I had just enough room to put thinking of you. Now here's something you need to watch, and I didn't think about it because this is the first time I've used this particular napkin. My glue has a tendency to kind of make this ripple. So next time I will probably put something else to, I don't know, I'll have to treat this probably a little differently when I put my finished piece onto my card. But it has a little ripple in that one. Now this one I had made previously, says Happy Harvest, and I just put the flower there. I could have put a leaf, but I've had those flowers for ages and I kind of need to use them up, and it was the perfect color. Now, last but not least is this one. I had no idea what I could do with this one. The background is so busy. No particular design. It's just really wow. And I put the little sign on here, but then I put the man and woman, and I think that kind of calms the card down a little bit. At first I wasn't going to put any kind of word, but I felt like it needed something, so that's what I did. I'd like to know which you like the least of these and which you like the best. I want to see if you come up with the same answer as I do. So here's 4 that have been made. And I'll do kind of a close-up so you can see it. Now, making the background itself is really very easy. And it doesn't take long, and it gives you a card that's almost finished to begin with. After you get that on, you can almost say that it's finished. Like this one, the only thing I did was put the word on it, and that was a finished card. Now, I don't put anything on the insides of my cards when I make them like this, because I never know how I'm going to use them. Most likely, these will be get well cards. And so that's why I have to kind of watch what I put on them. I hope you enjoyed my tutorial today on napkins. Try it and see if you enjoy working with them as much as I do. And if you can, get a silicone mat like the one I have here, and use it now just for crafts. Don't use it for food. And if you will, please come back and see me and see what I have in store for you for next time. I hope you will have a great crafting day. And don't forget to subscribe. Bye.